Okay, just wanted to congratulate Brian Resudek on a win in Week 16. We are heading into Week 17, but the pool is not over at Week 17. We're going all the way to the Super Bowl. The Pro Bowl, as you know, will not be counted because it's a shit game. Going back to Week 16, Indianapolis upset Houston. I think there were 3 people in our pool that took Indianapolis. I don't know if they'll take Indianapolis again. Here's the thing with Indianapolis and Andrew Luck. If Indianapolis wins and the Rams win, Luck goes to Indy. If Indianapolis loses and Rams win, or if both win, Luck goes to Indy. If both lose, he goes to Indy. If the Rams lose and Indy wins, he goes to the Rams. If the Rams win and Indy loses, he goes to Indy. So 3 out of 4 scenarios, he's going to Indy. Who knows if Indy's going to fuck it up or not. We'll see. Saturday's game, Christmas Eve game, by the way. I hope everybody had a very wonderful Christmas. Saturday's games. Oakland beat Kansas City in overtime. The AFC worst lives up to its billing once again. Here it is, we're going into Week 17, and we still don't know who the fucking playoff contenders are. Chargers are out of it. We know that for a fact. Pretty sure Kansas City is out of it. I think it's up to the Raiders and Denver. I think if Denver loses and Kansas City loses, it's the Raiders. If Denver wins, they're in. It's a big clusterfuck. It's the AFC worst. What do you expect? Tennessee knocked off Jacksonville. I took Jacksonville. Not sure what the hell I was thinking. I only had 4 losses. That was one of them. New England barely escaped being beaten by Miami, which was a bit of a shock. Cincinnati beat Arizona. I seen that coming. I took Cincinnati. Buffalo beat Denver. I think that was a big shock for everybody. I'm no fan of Denver and I'm no fan of Tebow, but nobody saw that coming. Buffalo just had that ass whooping in them, and that's okay. Pittsburgh shut out St. Louis. Not a big surprise there. They should have put Charlie Batch in the Week 15 game, the Monday night game against San Francisco. They'd probably be seeded a little bit better if they're going to the playoffs. I'm not sure if they are or not. Giants upset the Jets. I watched that game, and that was hilarious. Rex Ryan is the biggest piece of shit in football today. The motherfucker likes to yap his trap and doesn't back it up. And I love that. Minnesota upset Washington. I say upset because they only had 2 wins. Who knew Washington was that bad, especially after beating the Giants a couple times. I don't know if it was 1 or 2. I don't know if they swept the Giants or not. Giants are pretty bad, so who knows. Carolina upset Tampa Bay. Well, I won't say upset. They beat them. I took Carolina. Tampa Bay is just horrible. Baltimore escaped Cleveland's wrath. That, I believe, is a division rival. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong on that. But that, again, that just goes to prove just how mediocre the Baltimore defense and Flacco is. Detroit pounded San Diego. I knew that was coming. Philly upset Dallas. I knew that was coming. Frisco beat Seattle barely. Again, that shows some weakness on San Francisco's side. I don't think San Francisco's going to be in the playoffs very long. That's just my personal opinion. Same thing could happen to Green Bay. Who knows? The playoffs is a totally different story, and I'll get to that next week. Green Bay kicked the living fuck out of Chicago. I say this even though Chicago's run offense is pretty good. I was a bit shocked by that. That just goes to show you that Green Bay's run defense sucks, and that has me a bit worried as a Packer fan. I'm prepared for a loss. However, locking up home field advantage, the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, has its advantages. And then last night, New Orleans just kicked the fuck out of Atlanta. I mean, my God. Breeze didn't even, wow, looking at ESPN, Breeze didn't even get high passing, which makes sense, I suppose. But he did pass Marino's record. Now, there's been a lot of talk about MVP status between Breeze and Rodgers. I think Rodgers has it pretty much clinched, even though Breeze broke Marino's record. Somebody brought up in an ESP comment that I was checking out last night during the game. Breeze plays in a dome. Rodgers has much better touchdown percentage-wise. You know, Dan Marino's high passing mark can't be that much of a big deal in this era when you have 4 quarterbacks vying to break it in one season. That's 4 quarterbacks for 4 teams out of 32. So that's an eighth. An eighth of the league had a chance to break his record. Eli Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers. So that speaks volumes right there. So he broke it. It's kind of like big deal. On to week 17. All these games are going to be Sunday games. They were all in the afternoon and the morning, except for the Dallas-New York Giants game. NBC and the NFL have used the flex scheduling to bring that. San Diego at Oakland was going to be the tiebreaker, but until they did that, now it's Dallas at New York Giants is going to be the tiebreaker this week because it's the final game of the season. Carolina at New Orleans. Carolina at New Orleans. That's going to be a fairly decent game. I think New Orleans is going to take that one. Buffalo at New England. That one could give Brady some trouble. I got to go with New England on this one myself. Chicago at Minnesota. This is going to be another tough one. These are division rivalries, or division rivals. There is a rivalry there. That's going to be a tough choice. I'm going to have to go with Chicago myself, just because of what I liked what I seen from Josh McCown, or Josh McCown, or McClown. I don't know, whatever the fuck his name is. I liked what I saw. Jets at Miami is going to be another good game. Miami, that's going to be another one of those games. I'm tipping my hat towards Miami right now. Frisco at St. Louis, that should be no problem for Frisco. Detroit at Green Bay, this is going to be an interesting game. Is Aaron Rodgers even going to play? I'm sure he'll start the series just to keep his start record alive. But it's going to be an interesting game. I'm still taking Green Bay because I think they have it in them to kill Detroit. However, it's going to be interesting because of the possible playoff scenario. Green Bay might be facing Detroit. I don't know. We'll see. In the playoffs, they might be facing. I don't know. Washington at Philadelphia. This is going to be another good matchup. I got to tip my hand to Philadelphia on this one. Indy at Jacksonville is going to be interesting because of the luck scenario. Seattle at Arizona is going to be interesting. That's a divisional. Kansas City at Denver is going to be one to watch. I'm not sure who I'm going to take on this one just yet. I want to say Denver, but the way they played the past couple games, I don't know. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. That'll be a good one. I think that's the. I think. Maybe all these are divisional. I think they're all divisional. Looking at the schedule. Pretty sure they are. Baltimore at Cincinnati. That should be a good game. Pittsburgh at Cleveland should be a good game. San Diego at Oakland's going to be a snoozer. I think Oakland's going to fucking sweep them yet again this year and go 4-0 for their all-time rivalry record right now. Dallas at Giants. I got to take the Giants on this one, man. I mean, that'd be more of a toss-up, I think, if Romo hadn't hurt his hand, but I think that's going to really affect him. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully by the weekend I will have everybody's picks updated and corrected. I know Kitty's seems off to me for some reason. But I have everything printed out, and I just got to go through and match up what the win-loss and see where I screwed up. I might not even have screwed up at all. She may have missed a game, and I just forgot. I don't know. People miss games all the time. And by the Super Bowl, I will have everything figured out on who the winner is this year. One thing to keep in mind is that this is a shits and giggles league. I'm going to try and do this the fairest way possible. I'm not out to screw anybody over or out of bragging rights. But we have people like Stagger Lee that missed one game last week. It might end up hurting them. I don't know. There's been a discussion on Facebook about that. I'm not out to offend anybody. And I'd just like to say that at the end of the year, anybody who plays in this league can send me any kind of feedback they want to try and improve it in case I do this again next year. Everything will be taken under advisement, and we'll go from there. But right now I'm going to do picks. So far, the only person to send me picks today was Kitty. So here are her picks. Kitty is taking Philadelphia, Miami, New Orleans, Detroit, San Francisco, Jacksonville, New England, Houston, Chicago, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Kansas City, San Diego, Seattle, and Giants. And there you have it. I hope everybody has a safe and wonderful New Year. My next video will be in the new year. So Happy New Year, everybody. Take care. And good luck in Week 17. It's getting very close right now for the majority of us that have been in this pretty much since Week 1. I've improved quite a bit myself. Going 12-4 this last week did surprise me. So like I said, I'll have everything figured out by the end of the year. I still have the playoffs to try and tweak everything. And because we're still playing games, it's kind of hard to figure out where everybody's at. So maybe Pro Bowl weekend I'll sit down and do it. The week before the Super Bowl. So good luck everybody, and I'll see you later.